All right, so it has been a long time since I've been on YouTube. I think over a year. I'm probably not going to get many views from this, but I did want to talk about the little and my thoughts on it. I was just inspired to talk about a little bit since I love The Little Mermaid. I'm a huge fan. Overall, the show was okay. It was okay. The concept of it is a little jarring at first. If you don't know, last night they had a showing of The Little Mermaid, and all the posters say The Little Mermaid Live. But what they don't tell you is that it's about half, maybe less than half live. They decided instead of doing a full production of the show, they're going to just do the musical numbers. So, they're going to sing Fathoms Below, Part of Your World, Part of Your World reprise. But between those musical numbers, they have the actual movie playing, the original 1989 movie playing. So that idea is, I think it's smart for the company. For starters, they don't have to spend a ton of money doing an entire set for just one showing. Because at least with Broadway, they have nonstop. It's everything. It's the costumes, it's the sets, it's the great singers, all those things. Because it's a constant show. It's gonna be they're gonna travel all over the country and do that show. But here it's just one show. It's one live, and so it financially it makes sense. It also cuts down a lot of the actors' parts. They don't have to memorize lines. It's like a concert. I saw someone on Twitter say it's like a concert. So they will just sing their song, and then it goes back to the movie. I actually think this idea is interesting, but lazy. It's interesting but lazy. I would have loved a whole Broadway show, just like that we have in the theater, but I don't know. I just think it's a fun idea, but it's a little on the lazy side. However, with that said, they did pretty good with what they had. There's some things that are noteworthy, that are cheap or they don't look too good or sound too good. But the idea, I think, is fun. It's smart. It's the 30-year anniversary of The Little Mermaid. So it's a cool, cute way to do it. I mean, how do you do, like, they do it every 10 years or whatever, the anniversary. How do you make it different this time? Okay, you guys did the DVD with special features 15 years ago or something like that. How do you do something different with The Little Mermaid now? And this is different. Not what we expected. I know a lot of people on Twitter did not expect this, but I actually don't, I wouldn't knock it. It's just a little on the lazy side. Now, let's talk about the cast. The Little Mermaid was played by, I want to say her name is pronounced Lee. I think that's how you say her name. She is cast as Ariel. You know her from Moana. She's the voice of Moana. So by default, you know that she can sing. However, she did not do that good last night. Vocally, she was flat a lot of the times. But here's my thing with her is that you could tell through the screen that she was nervous. You could tell she was nervous. She had cold feet. She didn't necessarily want to be there. Not because she's bored, because we have seen in live action movies and things like that, we have seen when people are bored or not interested. It just seemed to come from a place of total non experience. And I don't blame her, because there are millions of people watching her on TV sing this iconic song, be this iconic character live. And there's no chance for a remake or redo, a cut. It's all live. And you could tell on her face, like when she sang Part of Your World reprise, which is when Ariel's on the rock, she was very stiff. And that last note of the song was very flat. And you could see in her face, if you rewatch that, you could tell she knows she didn't sound that good. And that continues the rest of the show. Like, she just lacks confidence. I was hoping she would get it together by, what did she sing? She sang If Only, which I'm going to talk about those songs in a minute. If Only, but with Prince Erik, and yeah, she was still just emotionless. So I don't know if the actress has had any acting experience. The show requires very little acting, but she was very stiff. But I feel like she tried her best, and maybe she'll do better in another role. But this was not the role for her. Ariel is a character who seems simple, but is actually complicated. You need someone who is passionate yet has an innocent sound to them when they sing or when they talk. Um, and she didn't quite have it fully. Let's see. Other casting choices was Graham Phillips as Prince Erik. I think he was pretty good. He didn't have the best voice in the world, but he sounded similar to the Broadway version of the show. And a lot of people were surprised he was singing. That's because that is the Broadway version. Everybody sings in the Broadway version. Prince Erik sings probably as much as Ariel does. There's at least like 4 or 5 songs he sings on. But last night he only did 3 songs. He sang Fathoms Below, Her Voice, and If Only. And he sounded fine. Not the best. He was a little flat in Her Voice at the end of Her Voice, but generally he was good. He wasn't super memorable, but he was serviceable. He didn't do too good. He didn't do too bad. He was just fine. Perfect. Just the way he was. So let's talk about the big name stars. We have Queen Latifah as Ursula, um, and she did great. Queen Latifah's biggest strength clearly was that she was having fun. We know Queen Latifah. She's been an actress, a singer, a rapper. She's done musical before. Like she's been doing this stuff. She's been a veteran compared to everybody else. She has the most experience in musicals and singing live, and she's done a little bit of everything. So I had no problem. I knew that it wasn't going to be a problem when she went on stage, and she had fun with it. And she's not amazing, but she was good. Nobody's going to be the original. They only give her 2 songs. They give her "Poor Fortunate Souls," and then later the reprise. So it's not like you get to see her act or anything like that. It's just singing the songs. And she did great. I think she had a great time. She saw the role for what it was and went with it. Like, that's what you should be doing. Have fun. It didn't matter to her if millions of people are watching. And she was probably the highlight of the whole night. I think everyone, especially on Twitter, was saying that she was probably the best of the show. I think my favorite part was actually John Stamos's role. He played Louis, who is the chef. In the Broadway, he sings Les Poissons, but in the Broadway, the Les Poissons is even longer. It's even longer number, lots of singing, lots of dancing and stuff. And he did fun. Just like Queen Latifah, he was having fun with the role. He knew what it was. The only thing that made no sense is that at the end of the number, he said, "I should have been Prince Albert." And it took me a while to realize what he was trying to say. Other people, I think, were saying he wanted to say he wanted to be Prince Erik. But for starters, he doesn't even know the name of the character. Secondly, he's way too old to play Prince Erik. If he was to be Prince Erik, then that would mean Ariel is much older, because John Stamos has to be like 50 years old, and Ariel, the character, is 16, so they ain't gonna work. But physically, yes, he looks like Prince Erik. If this was filmed 30 years ago, or like right after it came out, yes, he could have been Prince Erik. He has the dark hair, the blue eyes, or whatever. But no. But he had fun with it, and as he should, because that character is fun, and this is just, it's Little Mermaid Live. You're supposed to have fun with it. The last person to really talk about is Shaggy as Sebastian. He was fine. I was more so happy for him because how often do we see Shaggy in something? Like, he's not a one-hit wonder necessarily, but we don't really see him in mainstream. So it was nice to see him. Obviously, I agree with a lot of people about his costume. His costume was very strange. It was like he was wearing a red, I don't even know how to describe what he was wearing. It was like a red jacket-esque leather thing. A lot of people compared it to Britney Spears' red bodysuit from her "Oops, I Did It Again" video from like 2001 or whatever. And I didn't understand why it looked like that. It's almost like before the show, he maybe messed up his real costume. So they said, okay, just take that off and just wear this, because it was strangely incomplete. And as much as popular as a character Sebastian is, there was no excuse not to have a decent costume. The only explanation I can think of is he didn't want to wear a crab costume or something like that. I have no idea. But his singing, his enthusiasm, it was fine. Is again serviceable. He was on the level of Prince Erik, the guy who played Prince Erik. It's like not super noticeable, but not bad. And is that everybody? I think that's the whole cast. Overall, the show is cute. I think the sets were really good. They had some creativity with it, despite it only doing the musical numbers. Oh, I forgot, they had Amber Riley at the beginning. They did something different with the song, The Daughters of Triton. If you know from the original movie, Ariel has six sisters and they sing The Daughters of Triton. But here, they had Amber Riley be some character. There's no name for her character. Let me look and see if there's a name. They have her sing the song, Daughters of Triton, as a third person. Like, they are the daughters of Triton, um, sort of thing. And I thought that was interesting. And I wondered why they did that. And I figured it was to save money by still using a celebrity name. We all know who Amber Riley is from Glee and stuff, but they didn't want to hire like six different women to play Ariel's sisters, for one scene, because they only sing one song. In the Broadway, they do sing two songs. They sing Daughters of Triton and they sing She's in Love, but they're not going to sing those. So so they had it where it's like we can use a famous celebrity to sing a song and have her narrate it and not have to hire all these other people. And I thought that was unique. Preferable, whatever, it's all right. It's different. I give it credit for different. I like different, when you already have Broadway and the original. I think that was creative. They could have done some more creativity with that. All right, let's talk about the songs they did. Let me see if I can find uh, the song list they did. They did Fathoms Below, which was fun. It was energetic. Um, I really liked it. It's similar to the Broadway version. They had Prince Erik sing, which he does in the Broadway version. It's a short number, and it actually starts off pretty well for the show. Had enough energy to get it going. After that was Part of Your World. No, sorry, Daughters of Triton with Amber Riley, singing it. She sang really nice. I think there was a really good note she hit that I was like, good, good. She slayed, uh, the song. Um, I would like to hear her sing it again. I've never heard just one person sing it, so that was fine. I liked that they still had the six sisters. They just had them not really sing as much. I think they just sang their name. After that is Part of Your World. Awali, she did okay. Again, she was too shy to be singing it. She has to sing it like you're longing, like I know this character. You longing to be a part of this world. And you just didn't believe it. And this comes from probably her lack of acting experience on stage. Because in Moana, she does great. I mean, some of the best songs in Moana are when she sings. When she sings, of course, How Far Will I Go? I Am Moana. When she sang in the song, Where We Are, I think is the name of it. The song she sings with her family at the beginning, like, she sounds great. She has a great voice, but she might be just needs more practice on stage presence. She needs to work on that stage presence. I don't know what her dreams are to be. I don't know if she dreams of being an actress. I need some water. I don't know if she dreams of being an actress, but she got to work on that. But she did okay. After that is they go back to the actual movie, and we see the storm crash. They did something creative with Ariel's, saving Prince Erik. When she sings Part of Your World reprise in the film, in the Broadway version, she's singing to him like on the land. She's holding him and singing to him. But here they have it where she's on the rock by herself, and in the background, I guess, is her imagination, and she's picturing her swimming with him, spending time with him, being with him. And I thought that was a cute also cheaper way to do that scene that I liked. I didn't mind it at all. Her singing "Part of Your World" reprise was not good. Unfortunately, it was bad. It was bad. She did not that last note. I think she was gonna not do it, and then she went for it anyway, and it just didn't pay off. And as I said earlier, when you saw her face, she was just like I shouldn't have done that. So yeah. Then there is Under the Sea. I want to say they did Under the Sea next. Solid, as I said, what Shaggy did. Fine, it's fine. His costume isn't that good, but they had other people wear crab costumes, which was an odd choice, but it is what it is. Um, they did Poor Unfortunate Souls, of course. That was fun. Queen Latifah walked on the stage. Oh, another thing with Ali's performance, and that'll probably be the last thing I say about her. Her problem too is that she doesn't move on the stage. She's stiff. She doesn't really move around. Of course, she's a mermaid, but she could have some movement. If you see the Broadway version, they actually have like skates on or something where they can move around. There is a part when she sings Part of Your World that they lift her up. That's great. But generally speaking, you could tell she's just wanting to stay in one spot and not move. And this is a big problem when she sings If Only with Prince Erik, where she's just standing there and she could move around, portray her feelings. It goes back to acting. She needs an acting coach and a vocal coach. But any case, um, all the shows was fine. All the songs were fine. The idea is smart. It's not as time consuming. It's not. I just think they should have gotten more. Well, it's Disney, so they're gonna go with celebrities, but they should have gotten people who are a little more well, I don't want to say a little more talented, but people who have more vocal range to sing these parts, because it's the same problem I have with the live action movie. When they did Aladdin a couple months ago in May, the guy that got to sing Aladdin, he looks the part, but he doesn't sound the part. He doesn't even have the confidence of the character. And you really need that confidence of the character to make it believable and fun and entertaining. I should not be thinking when I'm watching a show how I know somebody on YouTube who sings this song better or somebody else. And that was the thing that is a pet peeve of mine. It's like the most talented people are the ones who should be in these films. I should not be thinking about someone who is better while I'm watching this production. But I'm happy for the actors to get roles like this. I would kill to have, a role as Ariel. But they had a black guy play him, but he was only in one shot. And that was a little, they don't have and they did nothing with Grimsby, so I don't know what that was about. And I was disappointed about King Triton, who also has songs in the Broadway. He sings at least two or three. He does If Only Quartet. The only disappointment I had in terms of the musical numbers, I was happy they did her voice. If Only, I'm glad they brought things into the Broadway. They would have to if they wanted it to be 2 hours with some cuts for the live version. I would have loved if they did the finale. They didn't do the finale like they had at the end of the show. They had them in their costumes. They had Ariel in a wedding dress, Prince Erik in his wedding outfit, but they didn't sing the song, the finale song from Broadway, which is also in the original movie, but it's like a chorus who sings it in the original movie. But in Broadway, it's actually everybody singing it. So for some reason, they did not have them sing the finale, but they had them in the outfits for it. They should have, because that would have been great. And they wouldn't have had to do too much different. They just would have had to sing and stuff like that. But it looked cute. Let me see if there's any other thoughts they had. I would have loved if they sang She's in Love, which is if this is the song where it's before Under the Sea, and Ariel's sisters sing this song with Flounder, who also is not cast in this version. Flounder is a puppet. A lot of people thought the puppet was really scary, creepy looking. Yeah, they could have got a better puppet for that. I have a Flounder stuffed toy that looks better than that puppet they use. But um, what was I saying? She's in Love. They have Flounder singing that, and Flounder is basically the main vocalist, and he's just saying like how Ariel has changed and how she acts different and stuff. They really could have had someone play Flounder too, because they had someone play. They had to have Sebastian, but they could have just got someone to wear yellow and blue. you know. I would have loved that number, and of course, I would have loved If Only Quartet, which has King Triton, Sebastian, Ariel, and Erik in it. But they didn't do that, and I wasn't surprised because they didn't cast King Triton. But overall, I've been talking about this for 20 minutes. I think the show was fun. Um, is it super memorable? No. I think it was meant to be sort of a flash in the pan to the fans. Like, hey, it's the 30-year anniversary of The Little Mermaid. Here you go. Like, let's do something fun with it. Let's make some money off of it. Let's get some fun celebrities for it, but also give some newbies a chance. Because I need to look up who Graham Phillips is. I didn't know what he's from, what he's doing. It looks like there's some memes going around about the Little Mermaid live. I'm gonna check out later. But yeah, I think the show was fun. It's not a waste of time. If you had nothing else on TV, if you're a fan of The Little Mermaid and you're just curious on what they did with it, I would rewatch it and maybe have it on in the background. But I would highly suggest, if there's any takeaway, listen to the Broadway version. It's on YouTube. Just type in Little Mermaid Broadway album. It's totally worth it. You can get context from the songs. Ursula sings a lot more in the Broadway. She has at least 3 songs, I think. Um, and they should have sang a little bit more with her because they had Queen Latifah. But overall, it's a good show. I don't want to continue rambling about it. It was on TV. It was free to watch. You don't have to pay. I mean, you get what you don't pay for, I guess. Like the Broadway, you pay what, $100 for an amazing show. You just turn your channel to ABC and you get half of it as a concert celebrating The Little Mermaid. But it is what it is. But anyway, it was great to come back on here. And I hope to do some more videos soon about random shit. So I will see you next time. Bye.